talked about most of this. So that line 1 of the Schedule C is where we report those gross receipts. I already talked about the statutory employee. I'm not going to talk about Jason. So this 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation, is where income for independent contractors is reported. If it's over $600 a year, so I should say, from a payer perspective, if you pay somebody over $600 a year and they are an independent contractor, you're required to file a Form 1099 and give them a copy of it. They use it then to prepare their tax return. But the magic number here is $600. If it's under $600, you don't have to give them, but that's in aggregate over the year, not single payments, but in total over the year. So then they use this, it's just box 1, non-employee compensation, to file their tax return. Now, like I said, not all income is necessarily going to be listed on a 1099. You may have worked, if you're an independent contractor, self-employed, you may have worked for somebody. Let's just say you're a plumber and you have your own plumbing business. If you're going to individual houses and performing work for them, those customers don't have to send you a 1099, even if it's over $600. Only businesses, other businesses send out 1099s. But if you go to a business or you contract with a business and they pay you more than $600, then they're going to send you a 1099 to show that they paid you that amount. But so not all of those individual customers, though, that amount is not going to show up on any of these forms. You have to add that in to that line 1 on the Schedule C. So for example, let's say you've got 10 1099s that you received from different clients, okay, and they total $27,000. But you had about 99 other clients, individuals, and you made $117,000 from them. You're not going to have 1099s for this. You're only going to have 1099s for this. But the total amount that you have to record, what is that, 44? In that line 1 is $144,000, because you've got to include all of those individuals even though they did not give you a 1099. Okay, so you should make sure, as a taxpayer, you should make sure that the number that you report on line 1 of the Schedule C is equal to or greater than the total amount of 1099s. Because if you got 1099s and you didn't report it all, the IRS will come back and ask, because they get a copy of the 1099s as well. And they will match what you put down with what they received. Okay. Usually there's no withholding from 1099s. Sometimes there is, but there is a spot for withholding. Let's see. Statutory employee, I already talked about the statutory employees. Cost of goods sold, I already talked about cost of goods sold. I don't know that the wording on that is right. Because they say if gross receipts are greater than 29 million. I thought that inventory, you still had to use accrual method regardless. I'll have to look it up to double check that, but that was always my understanding. There's the calculation. It's on the Schedule C. It's the lines there, and it's the same calculation that you've used. All right. Questions about that?